You're listening to a Mint podcast brought to you by HT Smartcast.
Around International Women's Day every year, we discuss a lot about women empowerment. But the real discussion should happen around women's financial empowerment. I truly believe without financial empowerment, you cannot really empower a woman. So financial freedom is key. Hello, I am Aprajita, your Why Not Mint Money podcast host. On Women's Day special podcast, I have a mother-daughter duo with me, Rajlakshmi Ahuja and Deepti Ahuja. Deepti Ahuja is our very own head of content at HT Smartcast, and her mother, Rajlakshmi Ahuja, is an entrepreneur. She has been an achiever throughout her life.
Welcome to Why Not Mint Money, a personal finance podcast where we help you understand basic money concepts and share strategies for you to build your wealth. So let's get started with your money journey.
I welcome you both on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
How are you, Aprajita?
I'm great and great to have you both here.
Are you enjoying
pleasure
your
too.
Why Not Mint Money journey with us?
Of course. And I'm really excited about today's episode. It's going to be very special.
True.
So the idea behind doing this podcast is just to discuss your financial journey and Deepti's financial journey. And does it really help having a financially empowered woman at home or not? So I'll begin with you, ma'am. So in your age, when you were in your early 20s, it was really uncommon for a woman to earn. They would study and get married. So it wasn't that common. So what made you seek financial freedom in your life?
Frankly speaking, like my father was an engineer and being in a government job, he was not into the idea of our working, women working.
Right.
But I don't know, since childhood, I had this curiosity to work and to earn money. And I used to tell my father I want to take up a part-time job. So he would scold me. He said, this is your age to study, so you study. So I couldn't. But then I was a singer.
Nice.
And then I got my first check from the All India Radio of rupees 70 for a performance. So that was a big achievement,
How did your father react?
And no, he was happy. He was happy, yeah. But permanently, he didn't want me to work. Okay, once in a while you can. So that is how that craze was there to earn money. And I wanted to be independent. I didn't want to be dependent on anyone.
Right.
So that was my aim. So slowly and steadily, then my music helped me. I started working. Like after that, I got married after college.
Okay.
I did my BSc, then I got married. And while cooking, I would sing.
Okay.
And my neighbor would listen to me, and she once said, Bhabiji, you sing so well. Why don't you conduct a program for my nephew's wedding? Right. I said, okay. And then that's how I started. Okay. And the musicians there also said, oh, you sing so well. Why don't you, perform? And they started spreading a word. And that's how I started earning money.
Okay, so exactly what were you doing? As in,
I was
organizing events?
I was organizing events. I was doing ladies' sangeet.
Okay.
To begin
with.
And that's how, step by step, I moved. And then I didn't have time to invest or I didn't know how to keep my money.
Okay.
So I would hand over all my money to my mother-in-law.
Nice.
I would tell her, I said, you keep this. And she would, I knew that she was a person I could,
Rely
trust.
on.
So she would keep all my savings and all. And then with time, then I started investing.
Okay. And when you started earning, then your mother-in-law and your husband, did they object or they motivated
My
you?
father-in-law had a little objection because our family is of doctors.
Okay.
So he would say, डॉक्टर की बहू शादियों में गाना गा रही है.
हाँ, it's considered negative, singing, dancing.
Yeah. So once he came to pick me up from the venue where I was performing, and because I was taking time, so my husband said, थोड़ी देर बैठ के देख लो. So then when he saw me performing, he said, "Beta, I'm so proud of you.
Wow.
And yeah, you're doing a great job." The way I was doing. So he felt कि बहुत अच्छा कर रही हो.
That's great. You had supportive family.
So I had a full support.
Yeah. Okay, now Deepti, you told me earlier that you had started earning when you were in school.
Yeah.
In 6th or 7th class.
Yeah.
It's very unusual and not many people do that. So how did it shape your personality, earning at such an early age?
So I think I was really inspired by my mum and I was inspired by my grandmother. Both of them were working women. I mean, my mum still is a working woman, and my grandmother, at that point of time, you know, she had left her home, she did her medicine, she came all the way to Delhi, then she went to Vizag. She was a mast mala. Right? And so I was inspired by both of them and their journey, and I was like, ab mujhe bhi kamana hai.
Okay.
So my mother, you know, one day she just sort of took me to one of her lady sangeets. And choti si thi, main itni height hogi. And you know, I was in class 7, and I was made to stand in front of 35-40-year-old women. I mean, the age that we all are now.
Right.
But us time it was so daunting, and she was like, "Sikha." And I'm like, "Kya sikhana hai, mummy?" And you know, and so they were like, "Ye sikhayegi," and I was like, "Inhe sikhana hai." And you know, we were very apprehensive. But my mom had so much confidence in me, and it was almost like, you know, there's this thing, right? You know when things are going to fall in place. So she had that foresight.
Okay.
Mom had that foresight.
That you'll manage.
That I'll manage. That I'll dance. That whatever I'm passionate about, I will lead in it. That was always her thing. That was always my mom's thing. Because she got that support from her family, like her, you know, husband and in-laws. She got that support from them. So she, you know, paid it forward immediately.
Great.
And so that's how my upbringing has been. It's more informal education than formal education that has informed all of my decisions in life. And whatever she's done, you know, the way she's paid forward all of the gratitude that she's felt towards her family, I try and do that with my team wherever I go. So that's how life's really been.
But I see a lot of people criticizing parents who make their children earn. And these days you see young children participating in reality shows, and then you have these Instagram reels where parents put out videos, and that is how they earn. So it is criticized. So what made you make Deepti earn?
See, basically what I thought is that, you know, if a child is working and if they earn money, they know the value of money.
Right.
See, if you are earning your own bread and butter, you understand.
Right.
So
but does it
that is
affect
why-
studies? This is one.
No, she used to do only during holidays.
Okay.
Summer vacations,
Summer
winter
vacations.
vacations.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
only during
Not-
those times. No,
Okay.
I didn't allow her to leave her studies. But during summer holidays, whenever she used to have time, then I would call her.
Okay.
Otherwise, I had a full-time choreographer.
My punishment was if my grades were dropping, she'd say, "Bas ho gaya. I'm not taking you to work."
Yeah. So, okay. So this is interesting that you did feel that
Yeah.
if she'll earn, then she'll understand the value of money, and then she'll get motivated, and further in her life, she
Correct.
would want to earn well, invest
Yes.
well, save well. Right. And Deepti, so back in, again, school days or college days, you must have had your friends' mothers
Yeah.
who would have been homemakers. They
Yeah.
may not be earning. Then you feel that having a financially empowered woman at home like your mother, does it help? Does it make you different from maybe your friends?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true. I actually got bullied not by my peers so much. I got bullied by my teachers.
Oh, that is surprising.
Yeah, because they were like, you know, your mom's not around and, you know, she's not always there. And I'm like,
Oh.
I'm with her. You know, so and I'm closer to her because of the way I work with her. You know, every child has the right to develop a certain kind of relationship with their parents, and this is what I choose too. And so my parents had brought me up in such a way where, I was independent of mind from the beginning. They would keep the pros list and the cons list in front of me, and they'd help me make it. They'd encourage me to think for myself, and then we would take a mutual decision together. So this is how both my parents have been since childhood. So when my teachers used to say this, I'm like, aren't you working too? and they'd be like, yeah, but we just, we go back home by 5 and all of that. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't see a lot of difference in your children. They study with me. So, एक तो मुंह फट थी मैं. ठीक है, उल्टा जवाब देना आता था. तो और बुली होती थी.
But at least you could retort.
Yeah.
I learnt the art of tact, thankfully, and I developed it over a period of time
because
yes,
independence,
Yeah, she could feel confident about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it was very daunting,
right,
for teachers to handle a child who's that fiercely independent.
Correct. Right. And now, ma'am, share your financial journey, how it has evolved through years. And what all have you done? Apart from Ladies Sangeet, I'm sure you've done other jobs also.
Initially, when I was earning, I didn't know how to, where to invest. So because my father-in-law had a CA who was not very helpful.
Yeah, oh my God, itna paisa dubaya bhai.
Sachi mein, he didn't let me convert the money into white because he had to work, no?
Correct. Okay, so, and you would earn in cash.
I was earning in cash. So that was the problem. So what I did was then over the years, then I would buy little gold, silver. So I started earning like that.
Physical
then
gold.
Later on, silver gold I invested initially. I remember when I started buying gold, it was 3,000 or something.
Okay.
So over the years, I started collecting. After that, then the CA passed away. Uske baad we had a new CA.
Okay.
And then we started, converting our money into white. And then I invested in property because, it's no point putting all your eggs in one basket. You have to have various things investments. So then I invested in properties. So the first property I remember was a clinic. My husband is practicing. That was about 30 years back.
Okay.
So my father-in-law and myself, we both put money in that. And then slowly and steadily I did that. Then during the lockdown, when everyone was sitting at home, just before the lockdown, I had opened a Demat account.
Nice.
I had friends who were into share market.
Okay.
And so I said, okay, this sounds interesting, because I would listen to them and, So then I started investing in share market. I said, I'll invest that much money, which I am ready to lose.
Nice.
So I invested a modest amount, which grew in past 3-4 years to about 4 times.
Invested where exactly?
In the share market.
In the share market?
Demat. I opened a Demat account.
Through trading, or did you invest for a...
Trading. I traded, day trading also I was doing. And then I started doing long-term trading also. See, if you are doing long-term trading, so then what happens is that if you have 100 shares, and the company announces bonus. So with one share, you get another one. So if you have 100 shares, you get 100 more. So you land up, having double the amount of shares. So that worked. Then dividends. The shares give you dividends. Every company has got different, dividends.
Correct.
So percentage. So then that also goes on increasing. And whatever keeps on coming, I don't spend that money.
Okay.
Whatever dividends come, I again reinvest. See, you need it only when you don't have any other source of income. So if today world is like this, that it's so expensive, you can't survive with one income.
Correct. One must
You have to have
diversified
3-4
income sources.
sources. So then I started, I
Building
don't take
your
out that
investment
money, I
portfolio.
reinvest. So that's one way.
And have you done future and options also?
No, I have not.
Okay, any reason?
I didn't have the guts to do that
Great,
because
huh?
I have heard people lose money in that. So
Okay.
I thought I would do something which I can study and in a safer way.
Okay.
So I invest mainly into big companies like
Large cap stocks?
not safer stocks basically. I have been studying their graphs.
Okay.
And this company is doing well. So I'll go with that. So
Okay.
I am doing with PSUs also. Thanks to Modi ji also. Modi ji keeps on saying ki go into PSUs.
PSUs have performed well.
They're very good. They're very good. Within 3 years, some shares have given me 133%.
Correct. Right.
So who's going to give you 100? And the bank is not going to give you that much.
True. Very true. Do you invest in mutual funds also?
No.
Okay, you don't do
No.
SIPs in mutual
I
funds.
have invested, I have put my money into FDs. Some amount I have put in FDs,
Okay.
and the rest of them is in this.
Okay. So
Shares.
from 2020 onwards, you
Yeah.
started investing in stock market, and
Correct.
before that, gold, FD,
Yeah.
and real
Properties,
estate.
yeah.
All right. Now coming to Deepti, where all do you invest?
Zero bata sannata.
All your money is in your savings account.
I keep
Is
on
it so?
telling her, I keep telling both the children, I said, get into stock market. I said, it's safe. It's not,
Right.
dangerous that way.
Correct. If
You won't
you-
lose money. Invest a little amount. Don't
and just
invest much.
experience and see how it works.
So I've been like my mom in a lot of ways. When you are really into your work and you're building your career,
Right.
all you can do is keep it safe somewhere.
Correct.
Right? And so it's kept safe with her. Like she kept it safe with my
the way she gave it all
grandmother.
to grandmother, you give it to your mother.
Yeah. So in that sense, I've kept it safe in the sense that, it's there in the banks and she has the right to tell me what I need to do, and more often than not, it's only her that I listen to कि क्या करना है मुझे अपने पैसों के साथ.
Right.
So she'll say, okay, let's go, let's buy some metal, let's go buy, why don't you consider property? So this is something that I've been researching because, that's the second thing that she went into. So I've
Right.
also been researching. If I want a home, where do I want a home? Right? And then moving forward from there, I started investing in mutual funds. So
Okay.
I put my money over there. Thanks to Why Not Mint Money.
I was going to say so. That you must start listening to our
No,
podcast.
I do. I produced it for so long. But yeah, it's just a little difficult for two reasons. One, I'm not very good with, for me, it's out of sight, out of mind.
All
मैं भूल
right.
जाती हूँ. ठीक है? And the second thing is I genuinely don't have the time to do a lot of things. So I'm okay with investing in like a mutual fund that's there
Right.
for a long term, that's low risk, a little
Correct.
bit of
It
this.
takes time to understand company financials. So the way she's doing it in individual stocks takes
Yeah.
time to find those
Yeah,
companies
true.
with great fundamentals.
And now both
so better to
my-
take mutual fund route if less time.
Both my brother and I are actually open to DMAT account, hoping that she'll do a great job of it,
Okay.
and she'll most likely do that. So we are now starting, and I'm glad that my brother is 11 years younger to me.
11 years younger.
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm glad that he's getting all of this knowledge and information right now.
Okay.
Right? I am a little late, I would say, to start off
To
this way.
get it's never too late, but obviously if you start early, then you get compounding
Yeah,
effect.
but see, the thing is that my family has always been an exception to the rule. So wherever they begin, if they begin with passion and conviction, they get there, right? तो मुझे बिल्कुल भी इस बात की चिंता नहीं है that I'm beginning a little late.
you'll
But
reach your
I'll
destination.
get there. And I have someone as confident as my mom to guide me to do all of these things. So I'm I would say just thinking about my financial journey, just beginning to do a lot of things. Growing up, I was a romantic, I wouldn't go like, oh, paisa to nahi chahiye wala. Right? But now I'm realizing how important these things are. Now, probably it's because I have a better relationship with money also. Right? Now I'm beginning to realize how important all of these things are. And
and I believe you funded your education also.
Yeah, so we were just debating about it in the morning. Wait, let's just get the chronology right, ma. Breakfast banate, we were like.
Correct.
But so basically, whatever money I earned through working with my mom, all of that money was put into my account at that point of time. And then my education, my undergrad, was a little more expensive than usual. And so that sort of covered my fee, right? Even for that matter of fact, my my graduation, right? So when my graduation happened, and I've seen a lot of, if I may, ma, I've seen a lot of ups and downs with my parents, right? So I've seen my father suffer monetarily, my mother suffer monetarily. Both of them are entrepreneurs in their own right. My father has a clinic. So zaruri nahi hai ki, money is flowing in all the time. He's not into service. My mom's also not into service.
Both are entrepreneurs. And my grandparents were like that too. They were in service for a certain period of time. And then they started their own clinics. Right? Both of them were doctors. They started their own clinics. So it's not necessary that the cash will flow, every month. Exactly the same amount or a little more. It's a safe option, kuch bhi nahi hai. So I've seen them go through their ups and downs. So when I was doing my graduation, this was NID, and suddenly the fees had shot up that year. It was my grandmother who, she'd saved up some money for my wedding apparently. And she invested all of that money into my education, saying that after this, I'm sure you can fund whatever celebration you want to fund for yourself. Great.
So in that
sense, is how one should.
It's not just about investing in stocks and bonds and mutual funds. Sometimes it's also about investing in the right kind of education at the right point of time. So it's,
Right. Okay, this is really interesting insights you shared, Deepti, here. Okay, ma'am, coming to you now. I'm sure you speak to a lot of women, and you may have observed that a lot of women, what they do is they have started earning. A lot of people, women of our age, we earn. We save a bit. We'll save it in maybe savings account. We'll keep it there. But beyond that, when it comes to investments, then those women either rely on their fathers, brothers, or husbands. So there is this general perception that men are better at financial management and not women. So your thoughts on it, and how do you motivate others?
As far as our family goes, I think we are better. Women are better. As far as investing is concerned.
Okay, so at your home you do it on behalf of your husband.
Yeah, because my father also was not a very good investor. Because he would always say, post office mein dal do 500 rupees. I said, please don't talk. Please don't talk small.
Post office में 500 रुपए
500 रुपए हर महीने डालो तो you get every month something. I said, please, that's not my cup of tea. I don't want to get into this. I think big.
Correct.
That's how I was. And my husband is also not very keen. I keep on telling him, I said, look, these shares, they're doing so good. Why don't you invest? I don't understand anything of this. So he's not into this. My father-in-law also was never...
Not into it?
No, never. He would just earn and,
So when you see a woman saying so, that my husbands do it on my behalf, then what do you tell them? Do you do those conversations with your relatives, your friends?
I don't think my... of course, my cousins and all, I tell them. One of my cousins, I just, told her, I said, why don't you open a Demat account? I'll help you. I'll tell you what stocks I have, what shares I have, which are doing good. So you can invest in that.
Okay.
So that way I can, like on my cousins and all, I can tell. But I remember a lot of people who used to do earlier, nobody inspired me to do that.
Correct. You did it yourself, self-motivated towards
I have friends who were into share market, and they would say, okay, we earned this much, and over the years
You got curious.
And then I got curious. I said, okay, let me. I just would listen, and put it in my memory behind. So. Then one day I said, okay, let me also study. Anyone who's listening to this, you can, study.
Must be online platforms where one can go in.
Yeah. So that's how you can manage.
Right. Okay. And Deepti, one aspect is having financially empowered woman at home, a mother. Now they can tell you a lot about it.
Right.
And another aspect is that you get complacent about it because you have your mother to take care of your financial decisions.
Correct.
So which way do you fall? And just share your thoughts on it.
See, I definitely need to be aware of where my money is going.
Correct.
Right?
Okay.
That I'm very clear about. I'm always afraid of losing my, how should I put it? I'm afraid of this out of sight, out of mind thing that I was talking about. I'm afraid of that happening to me.
Okay.
Right? So I need to know where it is going. So if I do open a DMAT account and I give it to her to do her, investments, do her stock market trading, all of these things, I will ask her almost every day. And it's not like I'll ask her for a hisab. I will ask her to tell me what she did, how she did it.
Okay.
That's my bent of mind. I'm just
Correct.
curious like that.
It has to be that way.
Yeah, I'm just curious like that. And believe me, this is what she's talking about is actually the power of kitty parties.
Wow.
Okay. This is the power of kitty parties.
That is how she learned and got introduced to stock market.
So when I speak to my friends, and of course, the kitty party term does not exist, so to say, like that in the community that I live in.
Correct.
Right
I
now.
was also never into the kitty party groups.
But it's just a phrase.
Group of women talking to each other. It's not always about dresses and fashion. It's also about money
it's also
matters.
about money. It's also about what are we going to do in our lives now. Thankfully, when I speak to my friends, we don't have conversations about boys.
Correct.
We don't talk about, घर पे क्या हो रहा है, सास क्या कर रही है. We actually talk about our careers. We actually talk about what are we going to do, how are we going to secure our future. A lot of us are, single. Some of us are divorced. Some of us are financially independent, even in a family, even in their family. And some of us are actually also supporting. They are the breadwinners, so to say. Sorry, quote unquote breadwinners, so to say, of their family. So when we talk about money, we also talk about these kind of things. And now that we are breaking away from all sorts of stereotypes, and there is no society norm hanging over our heads like a talwar.
Correct.
At least in the metros.
At least in the metros.
Right.
We are free to have these kind of discussions.
That's
and
amazing.
So it's not like I have to make a lot of effort. It's there. All I need to do is open my ears and mind to it.
Yeah. And you do open it. You do keep a track of what is going
best.
Only if she has the time, because she's so busy working, in her office, that she hardly gets time. She doesn't get time to eat.
So I've seen her work like that. I've seen my mother
Giving
work like
100%,
that, giving
and more.
100%. She used to leave home early in the morning at around 8:39,
Okay.
and she used to come back
I
sometimes.
would drop them to school and go to my work straight.
And sometimes she'd come back at 3 o'clock in the night.
My God.
And I've seen her work, and I've seen her effort and her passion. And again, the next morning, she will take a trip to some odd place in Delhi to, start off another sort of lady Sangeet somewhere. Again, if I may, Mom, with your permission, I've also seen her struggle through, all the, how should I put it, all the insults that you get when like my grandfather, he wasn't comfortable with her singing and dancing and doing all sorts of frivolous things, so to say. I've seen people accuse her team of stealing money and doing
My
all
God.
sorts of shit. I was so young when all
Yeah.
of these things happened.
And-
So I
and
became even
one-
more mindful of money.
One lady had said something to you.
We'll not talk about that. Let's not get that personal. but all of these conversations did have an effect on me and did make me very mindful of how I'm using that money. So if I'm not going to be using that money for anything good, I am not a regular consumer. I will not buy hordes of clothes and I will not go for hordes of trips. And I just won't overconsume. I'm not a hedonist in that sense.
Okay.
Right? So then I'll say, okay, then let me earn and earn and earn. And then there'll be a time when I'll have some free time.
Then
And
you'll
that's
go.
when I will start
Spend.
off my... No, I'll start off my investment journey properly.
Okay.
And then I will literally dedicate like 3-4 hours of my day to do all sorts of things like my mother did. And I will find a way to secure my future with family, without family, however it is. Doesn't matter. So ultimately for me, there is unlimited time. Sometimes I feel. I mean, I know it's contrary to the belief these days कि time नहीं है, time नहीं है. Time बहुत है. बस करने की
You
इच्छा
have
होनी
to
चाहिए.
find time. That's
Correct. हाँ, it's all about priorities.
Yeah.
Time तो है, सबके पास है. Right. So, ma'am, last question to you. Your advice for mother-daughter duo these days, what will you tell them? How women can inculcate money habits in their
See,
daughters?
if what I feel is if you're working and if you have a steady source of income, make it a point to invest 70% into your savings. 30% you should use for your
Day-to-day
expenditure.
expenses.
Yeah. And what else would I say?
School-going daughters and mothers maybe.
I
marriage
think
or-
if somebody wants to earn, see, if you're forcefully putting it on a child, that's wrong. But if a child wants to do
Naturally,
it
huh.
on their own, so nothing like it,
Correct.
I think you should encourage them.
Right, true. Thank you so much, ma'am and Deepti, for joining us here today. It has been great conversation. You opened up and I loved it thoroughly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for
We
having
en-
us.
We enjoyed it so much as well.
Right. So if you educate a man, you educate an individual. If you educate a woman, you educate a family. Apply this on financial education as well. Mahatma Gandhi had said it, but I believe it truly reflects the spirit of financial education also.
Feel free to ask your queries on this topic. I am available on X. My X handle Apri_Sharma. You can find me on LinkedIn as well with my full name, which is Aprajita Sharma. For more such podcasts, keep visiting htsmartcast.com. Bye-bye.
To stay updated on this podcast, follow us at HT Smartcast on all the major social media platforms. To listen to more such podcasts, log on to www.htsmartcast.com.